The following is an excerpt from this week's Eye-Opener report. The full report is now available for viewing by subscribers of boilingfrogspost.com. This report will be made available to the general public in 3 weeks' time. Welcome. This is James Corbett of the Corbett Report with your Eye-Opener report for boilingfrogspost.com. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made headlines at the UN General Assembly last week for his theatrics in attempting to demonstrate the imminent danger of the alleged Iranian nuclear weapons program by drawing a literal red line on a childish depiction of a bomb more fitting for a Wile E. Coyote cartoon than a serious political forum. Oddly missing from Netanyahu's speech was any acknowledgement that there is yet to be any positive evidence that Iran is pursuing a nuclear weapons program, any mention of the fact that the only nuclear power in the Middle East is in fact Israel, any indication that Iran is a signatory to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty while Israel is not, nor any admission that Netanyahu himself was a key member of a nuclear smuggling ring that smuggled nuclear weapons technology from the US to Israel in the 1970s, according to recently released FBI documents. Despite these omissions, Bibi achieved his goal. Headline after headline across the world fretted about the so-called red line, or the point at which the community of nations will commit to bombing Iran. Although this propaganda war of lowest common denominator props and stage tricks is depressing, what is even more frustrating is the fact that, contrary to what we are being told, Iran is in fact already under attack by Israel, the US, and other Western powers, and has been for some time. Through a series of measures, Iran has been facing an onslaught of cyber warfare, special operations, targeted assassinations, and crippling economic sanctions for years now. Probably the most obvious part of this campaign has been the series of bombings and assassinations that have claimed the lives of 4 of Iran's top nuclear scientists. 3 of the attacks involved motorcyclists pulling alongside the vehicles of the scientists and attaching a magnetic explosive to the car, which subsequently detonated. One of the intended targets, Dr. Feridun Abbasi Davani, a nuclear scientist at Shahid Beheshti University, was able to survive when he threw himself from his moving vehicle before the bomb exploded. Another attack saw a respected nuclear expert, Maqsood Ali Mohammadi, killed when a remote control bomb was detonated in his car. Yet another Iranian scientist, Dayrush Razai Najad, was shot down in an attack in Tehran, in which armed gunmen on motorcycles opened fire on him outside of his house. In July of this year, a book by Israeli-American journalists Yossi Melman and Dan Raviv, called Spies Against Armageddon, revealed that the attacks had been carried out by Mossad agents, as had been universally suspected. Later that month, Iran arrested 14 people in connection with the assassinations, airing their confessions on state TV, along with images of the military garrison outside Tel Aviv where they allegedly attained their assassination training. Iran has not made clear when or how the prisoners will be tried, but has reserved the right to pursue charges through international bodies. The families of some of the murdered scientists have filed lawsuits against the US, UK, and Israel for their alleged participation in the assassinations, but nothing has yet come of this lawsuit. You've been watching an excerpt of this week's Eye-Opener report. To continue watching the report, please log into boilingfrogspost.com.